Welcome to the Real Estate Show with Pat Lopez, where we talk everything real estate. Today, my guest is Sarah Cadman from Cadman Business Solutions. Sarah, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, Sarah, I always start off the show by asking my guests, how did you get started in real estate? Tell me your story.
Absolutely. So I was actually in the restaurant industry, just looking for a change. So I had applied to a couple of different industries, and real estate is the first one that landed. So I started as a admin and helped with transaction coordinator on a team. And then this was back in like 2014, before remote work. And then unfortunately, a couple years later, I was moving to Baltimore. So before remote work was a thing, my team had to replace me, and I had built many colleagues in the industry, and they asked if I was willing to help out while I sort of figured out the transition. And the transition turned into being a whole new business that has now been my life for about 10 years.
Okay, so 10 years ago, you started Cadman, right?
Yeah.
Business Solutions. Okay, so now, what do you actually do?
Yes. So we are contract to close, transaction management, and conveyancing. So we come into the process once you have a fully signed agreement of sale, and then we help you get to closing. So we help you manage all of your contingency dates. If the conveyancing is required for your client, that is built into our system. So that's all included in our systems and the fee that you pay. And we work with all the parties, title, lender, the cooperating agent, to make sure everyone's getting what they need and everything's moving along in the file.
Okay, so the number one question that pops into my head would be, a lot of real estate offices have a conveyancing department. So why would somebody use your company versus their internal, or maybe they don't have an internal department, but if they do?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's nice because we're a hybrid service. So we do both transaction management, which helps track all of your dates. We help with all of the addendums that you might need, scheduling closings, working with your sellers on deed packages, and not just the conveyancing. So if you already have a conveyancer, we can, scoot right into the system and help you fill that void. And if you don't, it's nice because even if your office charges it, you often can get more bang for your buck with our services.
Okay. Now, when you say you help with forms and everything, now, typically title is an issue. So let's say there's something with title. Will you know that there is an issue with title, and do you help, manage that or mitigate it? Or
yeah, absolutely. So we review all the title reports that come in, whether on the buyer or seller side. Okay. Obviously, seller sides tend to be heavier with title issues, but we work with the title company to make sure that we're clearing the conditions, whether it's us that needs to order something, the seller, the title company, depending on what is needed. But we work and we collaborate with everybody, making sure everything's getting ordered. And if no one's ordering it, we're ordering it, and we're making sure that we're getting that cleared for the title company.
Okay, so that's big.
Yeah.
Especially if you're working with the seller, if there's some kind of title issue, an agent may say, help.
Yes.
They raise their hand, help me out.
Yes. Yeah, you can call us in for that SOS
right.
When it comes back and there's a 40-year-old mortgage that never got satisfied,
right.
or when they have prior owner issues, which is huge. We help work to get that title policy from when they purchased, whether it's working directly with the title company, because we have so many contacts in the industry.
Right.
Often we can just reach directly out and get the help that we need from the resources that we've built. And we really just try to make it streamlined for the client. So the less they have to touch, the better, because we know it's a stressful process
right.
for that.
Now, so what else do you do? Like, you help with title, but is there anything else that you work with as far as, a buyer or a seller?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're working to make sure that you get reminders about your deadlines. We're making sure that we're working with the lender. So we're going to reach out, making sure we know that the application is in, appraisals are getting ordered, they're coming back. If you need any adjustments or addendums, we're helping with that. And, same on the title side, just making sure they have everything they need. And then we track all of those contingency dates. So making sure deposits get going where they need to be, making sure that they're getting released where they need to go. And then, the outside items like deed packages, help with utilities, all the little questions that come up, little things like, is there a difference between a bank check and a certified check? We're there to help answer the phone for you. So, when our agents' phones are blowing up, hopefully we can help mitigate a lot of those issues before they even know they have it.
Okay, so then how do you communicate with the agents? Is there like a portal that they go into, or you just email them directly, status, what does that look like?
Great question. It's all done through email, and we prefer email. Although we do communicate obviously via phone and text messages needed, email is the king when it comes to transaction management. That way we have one place to keep everything, and if we need to go back and revisit, it's very easy. Everything is filed the way it needs to.
Okay. Now, how many agents are you working with?
Yeah, so we actually, funny enough, don't track the agents that we work with. We track the closings that we do, because sometimes agents send us one deal every 4 years.
Right.
They're not that busy. They come in and out. But we average about 1,800 to 2,000 closings a year.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
18 to 2,000 a year.
Yeah.
My goodness. So that's a lot of agents.
It's a lot of agents, yeah, or some busy agents, that's
Right.
for sure.
Yeah. Well, some incredibly busy agents,
Yes.
or a lot of agents.
And that's why they have us, because they're
Right.
busy.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so since you're dealing in the real estate market,
Yeah.
and you're dealing with a lot of agents, what are you seeing, or what are the agents telling you about 2025 versus 2024? Do you think it's going to be a better market? Do you think, heck, do anybody talk to you about interest rates, appreciation, number of transactions, like anything,
Yeah.
any insights on anything?
Yeah, absolutely. My personal take is that I think we're going to have a very steady year. So I don't think we're going to see a huge spike like we typically do, huge spikes after Super Bowl, huge spikes going into the spring. But I think we're going to have a really great, just steady year across the board. And I think it's definitely going to be a better market than we've seen in the past 2 years. Obviously, we know 2023 was really, really rough for most of us. 2024, we still sort of felt that coming in, took a little bit of time for it to sort of reset. And I think we're fully into that reset now, where, the interest rates, they are what they are. They're not scary anymore, right? Everyone's getting used to hearing those words. And I think, people are ready to get back out there. And I think it's going to be great.
Perfect. Okay, so Sarah, because you're killing it with 18 to 2,000 transactions, if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, wants to know more about your services, how would they do that?
Absolutely. So they can always give me a call. They can reach me anytime at my phone number, which is 724-766-2779. That is a cell phone number, so you can also reach out and text that phone number, or they can shoot me an email, and that's Sarah, SARAH, at Cadman, CADMAN, Business Solutions, with an S on the end, .com.
There you go. Well, thank you very much. When I met you, I saw you doing a little video as well. So you're a pro at this, right?
It's media month.
It's media. But it was super interesting. And when you hit me with that 1,800, whatever, I said, I have to have you on.
Oh.
It's crazy how, 18 is a big number. Well, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks.
Really appreciate it. And that's the Real Estate Show with Pat Lopez. Be sure to follow the show on Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe below. Also, give a like. Very important, helps the algorithm. Also, leave a question or a topic you'd like me to cover in the future. Remember, this show is everything real estate, no limits. Hope you enjoyed the show, and